Well, hey, welcome back. Can everybody hear me? Folks, yes, no, maybe so. Let me know. Welcome from the Queen City, Radio City. Yeah, I'm sitting here in Cincinnati, good old Cincinnati, Ohio. Turn up your mic. Okay, let's see what we can do about that. Is it really that bad, guys? Echo. Jeez, we're starting off great today. This should be good. That should be good. Hold on. Hold on. Hello? Hello? Okay. Good there. Guys, honestly, this should be working. Is it really that bad? Or is it closer to the mic? Yeah. It's this up here that really does it. This is really more for show. So let's see what we can do. Hello, hello. How about this Bengals? Yeah, they won. They beat the Cowboys, man. That's always fun. Thank you, Grumpy Cat. These are the things you generally try to do before the show. It just shows you. Luann Moore from New York says hello. Yeah, I'm a New York City guy originally. I like that place. Okay, I don't know. Can you hear me okay? Echoing and hollow. Wonderful. Is this good enough to go forward with? Good if I turn my phone up 100%. Let's see what I've got going on here. Settings. Okay, that should be all right. Do the camera. Let's go for the audio. Default AirPods. It is going through my mic. I do have echo cancellation. Guys, all this stuff is exhausting sometimes. New member, thank you, Vicky, 8th code. Why didn't you have to say that? Just sounds like you're in a tin box. I don't understand though. This hasn't been an issue for a while. Superfine A1. Okay, that's good. 8 out of 10, but good. We'll work on this. But like, it's worse than in the past, right? See, I had to wear headphones, like these big headphones for what I do for Bob Cesca. And that had a completely different, I may just get a regular mic like this and actually, well, I'm just going to plug it in. All right, just go ahead. There you go. Hey, listen, I'm here for the quality. I want you guys to enjoy the damn show. And if I'm not speaking in a way where you can understand me, and I hate the damn, echoing. You fell off the wall that provides me with some kind of, let's see if this works. I don't know. And then we're just going to start, guys, because there's really not a lot else I can do. Yeah, Darcy's a new member. They're coming out of the woodwork. Thank you, guys. Loud enough, just an echo. All right. Epic, I'm going to have to, it actually has been an issue. Thank you, Denise. All right. I think this may be not long for the world, and this may be where we're heading, because it just is better. Then the sound quality will be better. All right, let's do it. So here's what I want to talk about today. We're going to start off with Cliff's Note, if you will, and then we'll get to the rest. I want to talk about public relations and the lack of democratic understanding of how important it is. It angers me. It undermines us. It causes us to lose. Democrats for years, felt we're still dealing with a Republican Party that acted in good faith, and we all try to sell our policies, and whichever policies were best would win, and we do it in ways that were at least semi-honest and respected democracy. And then this sort of large, corpulent circus clown named Newt Gingrich came along, and he started introducing ways to just attack the other side and get power for power's sake. He was Trump 1.0. It went from him to Palin to the Tea Party. Mitch McConnell undermined all the norms in the Senate, paved the way for the current large, loaded Mussolini we have to deal with yet again coming up soon. Why is this all important? Because there's still Democrats who think that policies just sell themselves. Hey, we don't need to convince people. We just lost an election where there are numerous factors, but if you read enough people and you know enough, the biggest factor is how people got their information. The fact that people like Elon Musk, he spent 250 million, 350 million something, on telling voters the exact opposite lies in one market as he did in another. You see, most democracies say that's legal. They care about, honesty in their political system. We have this free speech thing where we say, no, we're not going to just give free speech because it's an important principle of democracy. We're going to let you lie about everything, share disinformation, get people harmed and killed. That's okay. It's speech. How could it be bad? So Elon Musk shows ads in Dearborn, Michigan that say how Donald Trump is going to take care of the Jews, and Kamala Harris's husband is Jewish and be scared of the Jewish cabal. And then he shows ads in Philadelphia to Jews that says Donald Trump is going to destroy, all the terrorists, and he'll keep you safe, and Kamala Harris is in league with Hamas. I mean, of course, look at her. She's not white. There must be something wrong there. Whatever. Point being, you get what I'm saying. But I got in an argument, and some of you maybe on Blue Sky, and I'd say please follow me on Blue Sky, with one of the rather prominent Blue Sky users, and somebody who I even considered a friend until I think she lost her mind with me yesterday. And a lot of it was about Merrick Garland. She has been a staunch defender of Merrick Garland's. Fine. I don't even want to get into the legal aspects of it anymore. There are a lot of people that would have sat there who were quite smart people, Asha Rangappa and people like that argue with her take. I'm not going to give her name because I don't want to make this personal. I just want this story, I think, is useful. Argue with her take on how long he waited to appoint Jack Smith and how that affected things. Fine. But the thing she wouldn't answer and couldn't answer, when she was busy calling me names and thinking that was going to intimidate me or scare me or something, and all it really accomplished is I was trying to be respectful, and then I started calling her all sorts of names. I'd say mine were more clever and funnier, but you could be the judge of that if you're on Blue Sky. Was that she wouldn't even address the aspect of PR. Bill Barr. I always get that mixed up. Barr. What did he do when the Mueller report came out? He stood up and he read his summary of it and lied to everybody about what was in it. He shaped American perception. What happened when Jim Comey decided we're not reopening the investigation to Hillary, to remind people that Hillary, in his mind, was shady and maybe a criminal a week before an election? Republicans have destroyed norms, and they've done it often in service of public relations and pumping up their candidates. Look at the hearings they held on Hunter Biden. They had nothing. As Robert De Niro put, nothing. They had nothing. It didn't matter. They still held their ridiculous hearings, and after spending gazillions of dollars and making gazillions of lies, found nothing on Biden except for stuff that every Republican has done, like paying his taxes late and filling out a gun form wrong. And then, of course, maliciously prosecuted. What does this tell you? Again, that was all PR. They sit about, and all they care about is power. We don't want to become that. But why is it that we will not fight as hard to tell a story about the truth as they will about a lie? This destroys us, guys. We lose elections, we should win. We win elections, yes. But you may remember reading of John Fugel's things on the show, and he's like, during my lifetime, we've only ever won elections after a Republican president completely screwed up, and therefore we came in and won. Somebody was sharing one of those statistics that since Reagan, I think 49 million jobs is at the election, so it's changed a little, have been created in this country, and Democrats have created 47 million. The recessions, near depressions that have happened during Republican administrations, from Reagan to different times, and George H.W. Bush, and George W. Bush destroying our economy, and of course, with the housing market falling out. Again, but they lie, and mainstream media lets them get away with it. But as big an issue, and I've gone off on mainstream media, is that Democrats will not respond. Finally, we started letting some of that next generation in, because I think it's those old institutionalists that just don't seem to get that a big part of your role is actually making sure people get the right story, understand the story. So you've got Dick Durbin sitting there while Clarence Thomas is literally sucking up money from everybody this side of the Sultan of Bhutan. And guess what? Did he ever call Clarence Thomas in front of a committee? Did he ever use the Senate Judiciary Committee when we were in the majority to go after the Supreme Court? Of course not. The way they went after even Hunter Biden, that would have caused a lot of PR. That would have informed a lot more people how corrupt our Supreme Court is. And again, back to Merrick Garland. I told you what Comey did. I told you what Barr did. You remember that. These guys open their mouths all the time. They're not Merrick Garland. They couldn't hold a press conference explaining to the United States of America, our people, what was going on. No, you don't give specifics of cases away. You don't give names away until you've actually indicted them. But what you can do is tell people your view of things, that the MAGA-led Republicans led an attack on our Capitol on January 6th, and it was one of the most dangerous days for our democracy. And 140 or so police were injured defending the Capitol a couple of times. Yeah, you can tell that story because it's nothing even close to the stories that Barr told and the others who lied. Tell people the truth. Merrick Garland should have been holding a press conference every week. If we were fighting when we were fighting on abortion rights, when the Supreme Court did what they did, head of Health and Human Services, get up, hold press conferences regularly about what that will do to women. When they, especially about January 6th, why don't we have Homeland Security getting up and saying, oh, the Supreme Court right now, John Roberts, if they're going to slow walk an investigation into insurrection and they're going to do what this person on Blue Sky was claiming, okay, fine. They're helping domestic terrorists. They're harming our country. They're undermining our democracy. It's no time for norms. Republicans have destroyed norms. What don't we get about this? Okay? They win elections where they lose the popular vote. Don't care. Right? It used to be something you're kind of ashamed of. They say they have a mandate. Mitch McConnell won't let a Supreme Court justice be added for a full year when Obama's in office. But then, like 4 years later, he lets it happen immediately because Joe Biden's won while people are like still voting. They lie. They destroyed, every norm. They filibuster. 90% of the times it's been used plus under the con. Used to be. It's not even in the Constitution. It's an accident of history. It used to be used terribly, yes, but only in cases where they tried to block civil rights, the Southern right-wingers. Now it's used for everything. You have to have 60 votes, even though that's not in the Constitution. The Senate was meant to be a majority body. So you have to speak out. You have to stand up for your side. You have to fight. You have to control narrative. Gavin Newsom said this. Eric Swalwell said this. Ted Lieu said this. Gretchen Whitmer has said this. Jasmine Crockett. Stacey Plaskett. Jamie Raskin. It seems that we have a coterie in the House that get it, and governors that get it. The Senate and some of our other institutions are falling behind, and I do believe it's generational. From Gen X on down, we're not in some Reagan crouch like the Republican Party is still the popular party that has the popular position. We're confident in our positions. We're confident in mocking them, pointing it out. It's one of the best things that Kamala Harris did during the campaign, hitting them hard. I believe that she overperformed in some ways when you look at how incumbent parties across the world for the first time in 70 years all lost, and how well she did was because she fought back. And she was a black woman, and they were probably racist, and they were suppressed votes in numerous states. Completely what would have been illegal when we had the Voting Rights Act, Ohio, Florida, wherever they controlled the Secretary of State's office. This election, again, they did it because they do PR about lies. Post-birth abortion, lie, right? We know that. It's ridiculous. They're eating the pets. They're eating the pets. Lie. FEMA not giving people their, actually going and taking away people's possessions in North Carolina. Lie. But we won't fight the same way for the truth. And that was what I was saying about Merrick Garland. He stood up every week or even every month and had a press conference, blaming Republicans, pointing out their intransigence, their ignoring subpoenas, the fact that we were, that they, a lot of them had spoken out, supporting what Republicans did that day. The narrative would have been filled. Trump wouldn't be able to make up whatever lies he wanted to say. It's not what they say, but when there's a power vacuum or a communications vacuum, someone will fill it in Donald Trump. And so did all the right-wing media that lied like Elon. And I'll just say last thing right now, part of that PR is making people feel like that you are showing courage, so they should show courage. Courage is contagious. So is cowardice. So James Clyburn, don't talk about Trump. We learn nothing. That's what we call negative PR. That's what we talk about things that make Democrats not want to fight for you. And Ro Khanna, congressman, comes about working with Elon Musk, the guy that spent hundreds of millions on flat-out ads that flat-out lie, who've doxed public workers and government workers so they have to hide for their safety. An evil, awful, apartheid, blood-stained man. Are you crazy? Democrats, get your shite together. All right? And this isn't all of them. I named a number of the ones in the House and governors, but I'm sorry, enough. Enough with the apologizing. There are still things Joe Biden can do. He's doing some of them with judges. Stand up, define who they are. Stop pretending that they're okay. Stop pretending they're not fascist. Stop talking about pardons. Stop not saying anything when they do terrible things, Merrick. And stand up and define who they are, control the narrative and message. That was what we had. We had the government while they had the vast right-wing media. And you know what? We could have used the government to do that stuff. Because again, there are no norms anymore. But we did. And now we're here. And if we don't learn the damn lesson soon, here we'll seem better than where we'll be. So I know all of you will be fighting. Your sound is horrible. That's a great thing to look down to when I'm done. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yes, again, I've already addressed it. There's not much I can do. I don't know why it would be so much worse today than it has been in the past. Technology is betraying me today. And that sucks because I put a lot of work into this and then I have to sit here and, and deal with this. Yes, Cynthia, thank you. Guys, I realize it sucks. Do you want me, right now, while we're doing this, I can sit here and try to mess around with it? Or would you rather that I keep talking? It's kind of up to you. But this is what we got. I don't mean to sound like whatever, I'm complaining, but this is a lot of work doing all of this. And, I have tried on every level. I had coffee spilled in the microphone, as I said on Tony's show, that messed that up, which a different mic I use for a different show. I got this thing. This thing has not been a problem. Some of you have said in the past that the sound hasn't been perfect. I'm going to get, I think, a professional release even a lot better than this one. And I think this issue will mostly to completely be solved. But, I'm not money pouring out of my pockets. I'm doing what I can do here. In any case, get away from that, back to where we're going, public relations. I don't know what ideas you have. I would love to hear it, but I'm really tired of and I don't want to go on Democratic bashing sessions. I hate doing this. But I don't know what else to do when you make arguments that are sound, when you watch as the other side. Well, Donald Trump just on Truth Social will make up any lie, push any message, and we will not even do the most basic messaging. So that wouldn't be proper. Your Attorney General or FBI Director or anybody speak out. If it's a threat to Homeland Security, have your Homeland Security Director speak out. And if you don't want to have them do it, have somebody in their office do it. They have these people called press aides. They could do it. Communications directors. And you know what? They have huge PR budgets. You can actually do a lot with that. Watch, as Donald Trump does. Watch as he uses all of the public funds to demonize Democrats, demonize liberals, demonize every group you expect him to demonize, support all of his ridiculous policies, because he's going to have no hesitancy to do that. He will lie with our money about things. We won't tell the truth with our money. It drives me insane. It's up there with our failure of mainstream media and how cynical and treasonous the right is as the things that anger me most about what I do in politics. That I fight my ass off. I don't care if I'm on TV. I don't care if I'm on a YouTube show. I don't care if I'm talking to somebody on the street. I fight my ass off for all the things we believe in. And then I have to watch James Clyburn say that we should pardon Donald Trump. I mean, are you kidding me? The original sin was when Gerald Ford pardoned Richard Nixon, which, by the way, I do think Gerald Ford was back in an age of where he did it at decency. I think he's the last decent Republican president, as in a good person. And I think he may have done it for the reasons he said, to end our long national nightmare and all the division, which we hadn't seen in a long time at that point. But it didn't work out that way. What it did is it emboldened all of them. It told them they could get away with it. And then Iran-Contra came, and Iraq came. And I mean, we can't name every scandal of the Trump administration. There are enough gates to attach to things in the world for every Donald Trump lie, scandal, treason. So maybe the not locking them up, maybe when Barack Obama said we shouldn't look back when the Bush people committed torture, and by the way, I'm a big Barack Obama fan, maybe Joe Biden said, not pushing harder, and I wrote ads for him in 2020, maybe we should all realize this isn't working. That we can get all the policies right, and we can have support people, and we can pass things like Obamacare that ended up becoming hugely successful, and family and medical leave, and under Joe Biden, the Infrastructure Act, and getting shots in arms with the COVID stimulus, Inflation Reduction Act, and then they come along and they beat us because they lie about everything. They take credit for stuff they voted against, like the infrastructure bill. Hal Sparks is in the house. Where's Hal Sparks? Hal Sparks is in the house. Maybe he can tell me how to fix my crappy audio. Yeah. I mean, to lose because we use everything we can and fight as hard as we can, I can live with that. I really can. I hate it. Don't like losing. And I really, really don't like losing to terrible people who are going to harm people. But if we lose because we don't use everything at our disposal, well, yeah, that's a problem. Oh, hi, Cliff. Were you on a podcast with Bob Cesca where he talked about the failure of liberal fat cats? Yeah, didn't get the right one. I'm sorry. To support liberal media. Yes. So you guys did all the equipment. It could be a lot easier. Okay, now I know Hal Sparks is here because everybody's saying, "Oh my God, Hal Sparks! Hal, comment. Where are you? And like, support my technology. Help me. I'm not smart. I'll add you. Do you want to join the show, Hal? Yeah, I know you do, Hal. You're hiding now somewhere, but you're in there. I know you're in there, Hal. Jim, let's get what you have to say there. At the risk of repeating myself, MSM is complicit in this recent chain of events. Yes, support independent media. Look, no, I mean, guys, I can. JD Christie, awesome. Thank you. Super stickers. Yes, they help me buy better equipment. Look, this mic, the mic I'm going to buy is going to cost me a couple $100. I still, but again, it's a mic I only use for Bob's show. This has been working until now, right? I mean, I don't think you guys complained, and said stuff like you have today. Clearly, we're having issues. And I am no Hal. Hal could fix this stuff in his sleep. I have trouble just getting my pants on in the morning, guys. So, you got to give me a little bit of a break. What do we got here? Spanky, like the name. Took Nixon and Reagan and 2 Bushes in 2 dumb terms to accomplish what the devil never sleeps, went high when they went low. Yeah, I love Michelle Obama. I think she has the most class, grace, maybe the best first lady ever. Wonderful, brilliant, just amazing. And this sometimes shows the difference between people that are sort of political operatives and aren't. When they go high or when they go low, we go high was one of the worst pieces of political advice of all time. When they go low, you go lower, see if you can find a sort of part of their shin that's exposed and you take it out. That's politics, right? As the old saying goes, it's not beanbag, all right? It's not polo, and you're fighting for everything. Because if you choose to be kind and you choose to enable and you choose to say, let's pardon them and let's let them off or whatever, how many people get harmed because of that? Are you thinking about the people deported because of that? Are you thinking about women who lose their rights because of that? Thinking about people that can't love who they want to love and be married who they want to be married because you show that weakness? I mean, this has been difficult, folks. Again, it's been a tough time for me, and it's been really difficult for me to want to stay a Democrat, if I'm being honest with you, because it has nothing to do with my feeling towards Republicans. In fact, it's actually based on my feeling towards Republicans, because I want to rhetorically put them up against the wall and beat them with snot at them. Notice I said rhetorically. I won't tell you what I'm really thinking, because I probably would get banned. But when I see people with the weakness and the meekness and the apologizing, follow the Swallows, follow the Lou's, follow the Jasmine Crockett's, follow the Jamie Raskins. That's the way. Not the pardons and not I'm the head of the Justice Department. It wouldn't be proper for me to say anything. So I guess I'm just going to keep my mouth shut, even though none of my predecessors did. One of them probably elected Donald Trump because he didn't. That's not how you win. Never. And again, I didn't want to reserve this for just ripping crap out of Democrats because Republicans are evil. Republicans are, what am I going to say to that? They're beyond the level of despicable I ever thought they could reach. But they're there. And I can only assume if I didn't think they'd get this far, they're going to go further. It's really hard to predict how low they can go. Every time you think you got there, you're like, wow, even I didn't see that coming. They go lower. They're important thing to say. No, democracy doesn't begin and end at the ballot box. And the thing is, you see, if people don't know what the truth is because you've been following procedure and you wanted to respect, norms that again don't effing exist anymore, then they don't vote for the right people, and then bad people win. And then it doesn't really matter what procedure was or what was proper because it's all gone because they've just kicked your butt and they tear it down. I don't get it. I don't get it, guys. I really don't. Um, I go on Stephanie Miller's show and she calls me an alpha liberal, and the truth of the matter is I should just be a liberal because everybody should fight them. Like, I don't think what I do is tough or unique or whatever. It's just instinct. When somebody acts that way, why would you not fight back? Somebody's going to harm people. I do not understand it. Thank you so much, Renee Laforce. A good French name, Laforce. I'm going to France in the near future. Je suis très heureux. Yes, you don't like my music again? That's how you know we're on the same side? We are on the same side. Again, it's not this microphone. Folks, I wish this microphone, I'm just going to get us out of here. I put that there because for show, but it looked cool to have. It seems like a real radio person, but it's this. Problem's here. And I don't know what's going on. But if you keep bringing it up, you keep making me want to fix it. And if I keep going to fix it, guess what? We're going to get a lot less of a show here. And I'm not saying that to rip on anybody, but freaking technology. I'll get on that next. What was that? Cannot feel sorry for McConnell? You shouldn't feel sorry for McConnell. I mean, he built this. The phrase we once used, I believe, in a different way. He did. He paved the way. He put the Supreme Court justices there that gave Trump immunity, protected Trump, and destroyed norms around the filibuster and Supreme Court appointees, other court appointees, and really all comedy, as in COMITY, in the Senate. In fact, he turned it into a comedy, a tragic comedy. So Trump isn't here without McConnell. McConnell wouldn't join Obama for a joint statement to condemn Russia interfering in our elections on Trump's side. He wouldn't do that because he's a traitor. Because only a traitor wouldn't do that. Only a traitor cared more about the dirty corporate money they filled their pockets with. So I enjoy Mitch as someone who's a foil to Trump. I enjoy the fact they hate each other. I enjoy the fact that McConnell was able to stop Rick Scott, Trump's choice from becoming the next head of the Senate. And it's John Thune. And I like they're going to fight over stuff. It means there'll be fewer votes for things. Because Trump will lose his crap and he'll insult McConnell. Oh, McConnell fell today. He's getting medical treatment. Didn't know that. I thought you were all just saying, hey, look at that. That's the best comment I've seen yet. Okay, so McConnell fell today. And, well, if you're expecting me to have any sympathy, I have none. So a lot of people fell. The vast couldn't get health care because McConnell, how he did things. So, the political class, so you're supposed to have some sympathy. Yeah, all sympathy for all the people that died because of Mitch McConnell. Women now can't get abortions and miscarried and bled to death. I'll save my sympathy for them because of Mitch McConnell. He can fall over all his life. I'll stop short of wishing evil upon him. I will absolutely have no sympathy for whatever. Maybe if he's smart, considering he's the thing blocking Trump from ultimate power, because Mike Johnson, who's not busy, monitoring his son, checking out his son's, let's call it, it's online, and of course, I'm sure not getting a kick out of it, just doing it in a very conservative sense. He'll be doing whatever Trump wants. So they may not have stuff in the House because they may not have the votes, but it won't be because Mike Johnson is trying to stop it. And so, as far as I'm concerned, I'm glad that McConnell is there to fight with him and block things that go through. But whatever. In any case, leave it till after the show, Cliff. You sound kind of sexy underwater. That is exactly true. I've been told many times by fish and Aquaman that underwater, I'm a lady killer underwater, or a fish killer, if you will. We watched McConnell fall in a video loop. If you can, Cynthia, if you can get the Benny Hill music, I will put that in a loop on here for maybe like 24 hours. You know, going swimming with Cliff, is he wearing a bathing suit? I tend to wear a bathing suit. I'm not going to claim I'm like that Mangione guy, but you know, I stay in shape. I work out. Of course, I'm nothing like Al Sparks, who I don't think is here anymore. I can't believe he just popped in and popped out. Come on, Al. It upset me. You're going to have to have that out. Hey, my Patreon. That would be helpful. And I went through actually a whole thing yesterday. We're going to redo it and change the structure. There are going to be probably fewer levels. It will be slightly, probably a little more expensive, $1 here and there, but you're going to get better stuff. I think, guys, there's going to be a little rethinking of everything here because I want to make sure that I'm getting Patreon and YouTube members the stuff I need to get them. And obviously, I've lacked time and organization to do that. And I have organization, but I do need more time. I want to still create 5-minute videos. It kind of is where I originally started. Takedown videos showing good, smart, hard-hitting Democrats, like we're talking today, taking down Republicans, showing how it's done. I need to create more shorts. And I got to figure out how to fit all this in. Sorry, that was a funny picture. Yes, chipmunk milk. Yeah, I saw that. I don't know if I looked fit there. I think there was some man boobage going on. But you know, stick with the channel. Please subscribe if you haven't, obviously. Last I looked, we were 1,026 shy of 100,000, which may also help things. Yes, Benny Hill. Man, this is just going to be the whole show, isn't it? Do I have to switch mics? Do I have to come up there to your room? Hey, Sheldon, my man. DEMS did get rid of the old guard like Chuck Schumer. Yes, that was exactly what I was saying. I agree 100%. The Senate's failed. Schumer and Durbin should be gone. They have massively failed. There were so many opportunities when they ran the Senate. Think about what the Republicans are doing in the House. Okay, you think about the way that incentives work. How do you stop people in the House from running crazy investigations into Hunter Biden? Well, you run crazy investigations into them. You go after every Republican. And the truth is that you don't have to do it illegally or dishonestly or whatever. You should have been going after members of the Supreme Court. You should have been going after Republican billionaires. Why weren't they investigating Republican funders? And Republican funding sources, Republicans who have to Planned Parenthood, unions, or everybody that funds Democrats. Why weren't we going after certain corporations? Do you see what it was part of my rant a week ago, what Gavin Newsom said? I mean, that was brilliant, right? Where he's like, well, it looks like the Trump administration is going to take away the subsidies for electric vehicles. So we're going to start our own program to cover that, but only for new ones in the market to really give them a chance to compete. The ones that are already out there are doing okay or not. So that would just be Tesla. That's how you do it. Yes, please like and subscribe, as Cynthia is saying. And I think we're at 236. We'll get Bob Cesca at 245. He's also, by the way, an audio pro. So he can tell me what's going on. He'll be like, you sound weird. There we go. That's right. 1,100 subscribers away. So if I don't know if you're just estimating. Again, I looked earlier. It was, actually, it wasn't 1,100. No, it was 1026, I believe. So I may be really on the border of 1,000 away at this point. So, guys, hey, super chats, memberships, all that. Let's call it the Cliff sounding like he's not underwater fun. It's a good fun. Here it does well. The Democratic Party is spineless. Yes, they've been way too spineless. Renee, that's the Chabad. Dear Renee LaForce and her party is playing by rules that don't exist. Both of those things. And again, there is a new crop of younger folks that are doing it right. And even some of the Gen Zers, Margaret Frost. I don't know what AOC is. She's Gen Z, isn't she? Whatever. Again, doesn't matter. If you're from the left, the middle, I don't care about your ideology anymore. As long as you support the Democratic Party, and they do care. But you support anywhere from a center left to like a leftist perspective, and you're willing to fight. But even if I disagree with you on some issues, you're on my side. And there are a few people outside of that zone. You know, as I pointed out before, I would put Joe Manchin was outside of that zone. And I'm sorry, on the other side, Rashida Tlaib said some things that were blatantly anti-Semitic, and I happen to come from a Semitic family, so no. But really, almost everybody in between that, plus she wouldn't endorse Biden. And if you wouldn't endorse Biden, and Kamala Harris eventually, then you're not a Democrat as far as I'm concerned. I'm not going to support you. Whereas, AOC was out there on the trail fighting for Kamala Harris. So, big difference. Whole parties and spineless, just the leadership. Yes, we need new leadership. Not in the House. Hakeem Jeffries is that new leadership that we needed and got to. I think Nancy Pelosi be on the Mount Rushmore of legislators. She clearly had lost an edge, and I don't think she ever had one when it came to communications. She never should have been a communications face of the party. There are other people that were better at that, a lot better and a lot tougher. But you know what? Generationally, needed a change anyhow. It was always going to get better when there are people that stop being scared of, oh my God, Reagan is still around. He may hurt us. And Hakeem Jeffries, I think, has been a terrific. This is very correct. I've been putting you up a lot today. You don't like my music. And I may like your music. I don't know. That's what it is. It's grunge, hard rock. Got some good guitar and drums I probably like it. Yeah, it does take us all. I mean, again, like this is studies, right? You've heard Timothy Snyder talk about it. You've heard two guys, Zeitblatt and Levitsky, in their book How Democracies Die. Everybody else has to unite against an authoritarian movement, be it on the right or the left, to stop it. Everybody else. That's how you stop them. That's how democracies survive. What else do we got, guys? Let's see. America in limbo. Yeah. I mean, we really are. And the thing that's frustrating is we can win this. Absolutely. We're out there tough and hitting them every day, defining the terms of the debate every day. It's going to be a lot harder once they take over the White House and they have that megaphone. And the megaphones that come with running all the executive agencies and everything. But you know what? We still can. We can be creative. We can hold spectacles, if you will, to get attention. Smarter ones than those Donald Trump rallies. We don't need sharks and batteries. And the late, great Hannibal Lecter. Right. You know, I missed some folks, it seems to me. You may have come along while I was. You may have got all of you. Had 2 new members. Yeah. 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, I got you, Sheldon. It tells me there's 6 that are starred here, but I only see 5. Maybe I'm missing 1. I don't know. Oh, there we go. Bertha, thank you. Bertha A. Today in Colorado Gives Day for local charities, so making an honorary Colorado today. Thank you. I've actually thought eventually I may be in Colorado, and if you wanted to be. I love it out there. Beautiful, outdoorsy kind of guy. I like hiking. I like that kind of stuff. So wouldn't be shocked. Some of it will depend on where the kids end up for college. And Beach Blonde, Bad Adult, Butch Body was epic. Thank you, Crockett and Tennessee Brander, for singing the song. Yes, it was an epic hit. It's an epic song. And you know what, folks? I don't think I've ever yet pushed our merch here. But we have what I would call a great Christmas present and a funny shirt that I would ask you to go check out. I think people will like it. MTG equals B to the sixth. I bet you can figure out what that is. That's what it says on the front and on the back. It's the whole thing out. It's a formula. See, it's funny. It's interesting. And if you got folks for Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, birthdays, anniversaries, New Year's, Arbor Day. Arbor Day is a good one. You should definitely think about giving folks some of the wonderful merch that we have in our store there. That's the funniest one, I think. I need to do some more thinking about some more various forms of merch that we will give you. Hey, Barbara, new member, thank you. And I don't want to say what I've been saying forever because it kind of sounds like I'm just repeating myself. Or for weeks there, maybe more than that, month, whatever. I'm like, oh, we're going to get to YouTube, but whatever up to YouTube membership and Patreon up there, whatever. Well, here's the thing, guys. I'm on. I mentioned during my rant, I'm on Blue Sky. I've found that there are some voices there that are a little bit annoying and frustrating. I still encourage you to all go there, and I'm so glad I'm there. But I think in general, I'm going to pull back a little bit from social media, places where people tend to just get in fights with each other. And the thing is that you all who are here and supporting me are terrific people. Why should I not be putting a post that I put at Blue Sky up on Patreon instead and on YouTube as part of the YouTube members program? I'd argue I should be. And so I'm going to make you a deal, and you don't have to believe me until you see it. But what I'm going to start doing is I sat there with an hour and a half with my admin, who I love. I've just hired Veronica down in Florida, terrific. We're going to work on getting the whole thing, sort of scheduling of content and all that worked out, so that I'm regularly posting videos and posts at Patreon and YouTube members area. Thank you, new member, Alex Snell. Thank you so much. I may start a Substack, but I'm going to make sure first that I'm giving everybody, before I add something else at Patreon and the YouTube members, what you deserve. And I really want to make sure I'm getting the most out of my videos and putting the most videos out there. I do wonder, I want to keep doing 3 live streams. I may have to lower it to 2. I'm not saying I'm going to. It's one of the things I'm contemplating so I can get stuff up at Patreon and the YouTube members club, as well as giving you guys more 5-minute videos, giving you more shorts and other stuff. I guess maybe we'll figure out a way to do a poll and see what everybody wants. And I really do want to give you as much content as I can. And I feel bad, honestly, when I don't. I mean, yes, I'm me. I can, when I argue with people, as I brought up on I can become a serious dick when people get fights with me, which is the whole Republican Party and lots of other people with antisocial personality disorder. But underneath it all, I'm a decently nice guy who especially don't want to ever feel like I'm grifting people. And when I promise people stuff on Patreon and YouTube as members and I haven't delivered yet, that's the way I feel. So it's bothered me. It's probably why I brought it up much times. Because it's bothered me for a while, and so I'm going to get you what you deserve. So that first, and but tell me in the comments, like, do you guys like the 5-minute produced videos where we put in like funny comedy clips or ones I think are funny? Do you enjoy those? Do you enjoy the shorts? Look, Bob Cesca is here. I'm going to invite him in, and then he can tell me also how much my audio sucks.
How much what? What are you talking about?
My audio today apparently is complete shit. I think I need to work on it being better in general. But that microphone you and I talked about when I went downstairs to return it to the gentleman who lent it to me. Everybody say hello to Bob Cesca, by the way.
Hi. Hi, everybody. Bob
Cesca podcast. I am a co-host on Tuesdays. He's smart enough to not let me on it any other days. So he has other hosts those days, but we co-host on Tuesday. What else do we do? I used to guest on there. He guested on my old podcast. Bob, and I think I've said this about people I've had here recently, and I promise you that like this is no BS. I've made it a rule. For example, there are people I agree with on a lot of stuff. Some of whom I even argue with on Blue Sky, for example, as I've said. I'm going to make jokes about that forever, Bob. It's not a joke. It's going to be a constant thing. So I hope the person that started that argument with me is ready for that.
Right.
Because to me, those things become funny. It's not like Cleta Mitchell, as far as I'm concerned. But you're one of the best people in this business, and I don't want to feel like I'm like you are. I had Bill Corbett on Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Oh, he's great. Yeah.
Week. Amazing guy. I had Jamie Slur on. I don't know if you know Jamie, cookbook author. Fantastic. Lives in France. Fantastic. I had a guy I'm quite sure you know on, John Fugelsang.
I think I know that guy. Yes. Name sounds familiar.
I think you go on his show every week, I believe. And the truth of the matter is like you guys are, you're people that like, I'd lay my life down for it. I'm not even kidding.
Thank you. Same.
And there aren't many people, but like there are people, and again, I guess I'm bringing it up again. That little squabble reminded me on Blue Sky, is like the people who I truly appreciate, who not only whose politics I share, but are just good, decent, honorable people that are doing their best. They're trying to make a good living, but they're not sitting here and trying to grift. They feel guilty when they do something that they're, screws over their audience. Just explain to people how I'm going to get my Patreon and YouTube membership up to snuff. I had finally the admin I hired. She's amazing. She put a whole list of the stuff together for me and is helping with it. We sat down yesterday and went over it because I don't want to ever feel like I'm charging people and not giving them what I told them I'd give them, because that's grifting. And and so I haven't done it on purpose, but I feel horrible about it. So, and I haven't had the time. So I'm figuring out all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Which is, you seem to have figured out well. You got your 4 podcasts a week. You go on Stephanie. You go on with Fugelsang.
It's essentially because I don't have time for anything else. I can't do more. In fact, some of the problems that you're having today, it's one of the reasons I don't do video, Cliff, to be perfectly frank. It's
everybody here seems to think you're sexy, so maybe you should.
Thank you, Starlene24. Yeah, but I do what I can, and my main focus is doing the podcast, and I try not to get into some of that high school cafeteria clique breakfast club fighting that happens on social media all the time. While I am quite loyal to Stephanie Miller and the Stephanie Miller cinematic universe, we're both a part of that. Partially, orbiting Stephanie Miller.
Hal
for sure.
Apparently showed up here earlier, so. Talking about part of that universe, Hal Sparks was in the comments before, and
cool.
And I go on that every Monday.
Yeah,
but part of it with Fugelsang, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. I feel like I need to figure this all out because I want to give everybody, people that pay for the Patreon, but people that are here for for these live streams, the people that love the 5-minute videos. Maybe I'm going to ask these folks and put up I want to put up Bob Cesca's description here. Thank you, Jim, for doing that. I want to give everybody what I think is the best combination of we have the 5-minute videos that are a little bit produced with some a funny movie clip in there and a news clip. I've got shorts that we put up, some of which are just funny or interesting things that we see that are not copyrighted and are interesting, and we put them up. Some of it is this, but I do feel lately, I'm in a position where so it's funny. Somebody earlier said that my audio sounded like I'm underwater, and I kind of feel like I'm treading water. I'm just, here, and so I'm trying to figure out how I can give folks the most stuff here, but not also, maybe have a nervous breakdown or fall over. Apparently, Mitch McConnell did today, which I shouldn't be joking about, but I don't care because I'm
Mitch McConnell. What happened to Mitch McConnell today? Did I miss something while you were doing a show?
Folks in here told me that he fell over.
Uh-oh.
He was in the
Yeah.
hospital.
Well, he had, I think, polio as a child. So he does, I
He
think,
did.
have a little bit of trouble walking because of that.
He did.
I remember there was one thing that happened at the White House where I want to say Donald Trump helped Mitch McConnell walk up the couple of stairs from the Rose Garden back into the Oval, and I think at that point in time, that's when it came out that McConnell had some form of polio. Of course, we don't wish that on our worst enemies, that horrendous disease. But yeah,
But he does, because again, I always worry when I'm still allowed to say on YouTube, and there's certain categories you're not allowed to go near because of conspiracy. So let's say he helped support a president who was against waxing, who was anti-wax, if you will. Sorry, I can't say the word because I'm worried they're going to demonetize me for it. So,
right.
That kind of pisses me off. That here's this guy that went through polio as a child, just more hypocrisy from Mitch McConnell, a man who was divorced but lectured all of us on family values and has no relationship with his wife and daughters. But again, who are all liberal, by the way, but lectures us on family values and such. Well, again, this has nothing to do with his falling today, but having polio as a child, you might maybe get an appreciation for how important it is that let's see how I can say this again without getting in trouble, that we follow all scientific breakthroughs and medical breakthroughs and make sure people get everything they need to get. And instead, he helps endorses a president who not only did what he did on January 6th, but is putting people like RFK Jr. up. He's betraying himself.
Oh, yeah, of course. Certainly, people like Mitch McConnell can avail themselves of the world's greatest healthcare. And he also tried to make sure that none of us could have any sort of healthcare whatsoever. I mean, not necessarily none of us, but those of us who don't get health insurance through our jobs and want to buy it on the individual market and not go broke in the process. Mitch McConnell and Donald Trump, for that matter, and probably they're going to try to do it again in the coming 4 years, is repealing the Affordable Care Act. And I think what gets mistaken there quite often, and now I'm going down that road, but I think it's important to reiterate some of this stuff, Cliff, is that with the Affordable Care Act, I think it's often mistaken that it's just the exchanges and the marketplaces, or however you want to call them. It's a whole lot more than that. I know Donald Trump for his first 4 years tried to portray the Affordable Care Act as nothing but shitty healthcare, which it's not even healthcare. It's all about insurance, and it has nothing to do with actual care. It's not like you go to an Obamacare doctor and they give you Obamacare treatments for whatever's
coverage
hurting you. It's about getting affordable coverage so you don't go broke as soon as you're sick or injured. That's the whole point of it. And one of the ways you don't go broke is because the Affordable Care Act also includes this entire menu of just world-class consumer protections to make sure that insurance companies can't kick you off your insurance as soon as you're sick or injured, which is a practice called rescission. It used to happen all the time to make sure people aren't going bankrupt. There was thousands of people every month would go bankrupt as a result of not having health insurance. A whole lot more people would die every month because they didn't have access to healthcare, because insurance and the inaffordability of health insurance. There should be no reason in this country why anyone should go without the proper amount of anesthesia or anything like that. And at the same time, the CEOs
well, you
of
brought
the
that up
health
for
insurance,
a reason, right?
Yeah. Well, the health insurance.
Who was trying to limit it? Which company just was saying?
Oh yeah, it was United Health. No, it wasn't United. It was Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield, and they reversed.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, they reversed that decision though. I think over the weekend, they were going to do it, and we talked about it on our Thursday show on the podcast last week, and then it was either Friday or Saturday. Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield reversed that decision, thankfully, which indicates that public pushback against the billionaire class can actually work. And I think we talked about it on the Bob Cesca show today, you and me, that there's a real opportunity in the next 4 years for the Democrats to position themselves as being the party that pushes back against billionaires, because the Donald Trump administration is going to be loaded with them. Yeah.
monopolies. We should take on all three. They're all funding our opposition. Yes, they fund some Democrats too. Well, I'm sorry, guys. Get on
Yeah.
board
Mhm.
because we can't win. It's why in my rant at the beginning that I do at the beginning today when I talked about, I'm sure this will shock you, Democrats and the lack of understanding the importance of public relations, be it if you're in government and you need to speak out or campaigns or what have you. We were talking about exactly that very issue. I don't know. It's frustrating.
Yeah, it is. It really is. It's frustrating to know that some people can't afford their premiums. It's frustrating to know that some people get rejected for certain kinds of care because their insurer decides, well, you've had enough of that particular treatment, and so we're not going to pay for it anymore. And meantime, CEOs of at least the for-profit health insurers are billionaires and millionaires and making a fortune with golden parachutes and all the rest of it. While there are not-for-profit health insurers out there that, do a decent job of care and covering their patients, covering their customers, there are quite a few that are just, most of them are there to enrich the people that control the game. And,
Right.
And so once you take the Affordable Care Act out of that equation, holy shit, you're doing nothing but empowering these people. And so this is one of the battles I think we're going to have to face. And I don't know. I think we've reached that stage now where the Affordable Care Act is seen more along the lines of Medicare and Social Security. But people don't want to give it up. I know one area where it's immensely popular. I mean,
we talked about that in your show. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. It's immensely popular in Kentucky, for example, where the exchanges there called Connect in Kentucky.
Because it's actually worked really well. They started the local one. Bashir did. It worked really well. They tried to I think it was actually his dad. It was the earlier Bashir who started it. He was governor before. Can't think of his dad's name. He's trying to be out. He was attorney general too. But in any case, he started there. Connect was very popular. And there would be all these people. Again, this goes to the failure of our messaging. Like, I hate Obamacare, but I love my Connect.
Yeah.
You have to be like, that's on us to let them.
Don't you know
that. It's just so frustrating. But with all of that, again, it is one of those policies like Social Security, Medicare that everybody gets, right? You can't demonize a certain race or a certain gender, so it's much harder for them to take it away. And again, the easiest message: we are in a period of time. We are worse now than the Gilded Age in terms of income inequality. We are worse in terms of monopolistic economy. 6 media companies, which harms us to no end, cover our 80%. How many for-profit health insurance companies are? So many of them have been, ended up combining forces, working together. There's like maybe a half dozen, a few more of them. I mean, there's so few choices of everything, and that's why everything sucks. Because they don't have to compete. They can destroy the environment. They can pay their workers crap, fire them on the spot, go after unions. They can do all these things, treat consumers like crap, and they realize you got nowhere else to go. So it's the easiest message in the world for Democrats to literally line up against billionaires, oligarchs, monopolies. If you want to just even say oligarchs or monopolies, whatever, but make sure people know it's billionaires, and we should take them on. And it should be to give people a fair economy, to get a fair shot, and that's a fight we can have. And the thing is, it needs to be personalized. I mean, Elon Musk has given us, and so has Donald Trump, for that matter, who may not even be a billionaire, but he claims he is. So let's use that against him. Which is, they give us the easiest targets in the world to point out the abuse by billionaires.
Exactly.
The things they say, the things they do, the disrespect they treat their workers with. They firing workers, treating them like crap. I mean, each of these guys and all of their supporters have all done that. The ways they laundered money, insider trading, and just this and that and the other thing. And again, Justice Louis Brandeis, who famously said, we can have either a great disparity in wealth or a democracy. We cannot have both, because you start getting the situation where those, you see it. Like, isn't Elon Musk basically taking meetings every day with economic officials, foreign policy officials, even though no one voted for him for anything, which should be part of our message, by the way. that it's billionaires and oligarchs are running everything, people in secret rooms you never voted for.
Yeah, the Democrats aligning themselves against millionaires and billionaires, it's not unheard of. We're kind of 85, 90% of the way there already. I mean, that's a fact, despite what a lot of pundits said in reaction to this past election, where the word was, how are the Democrats going to reach out to the working class? We've always been reaching out to the working class. It's always been happening. Just because we don't mind it if someone wants to be referred to by different pronouns as we do, just because of that doesn't mean we're not with the working class. And if anyone thinks that we're going to sell out our values along those lines in order to appeal to the working class, which is already something that we're doing, not selling out our values, but appealing to the working class from a nuts and bolts, from a pocketbook point of view, certainly from a job creation point of view, an entirely economic point of view, everything the Democrats do is geared toward the working class. Now, the question then becomes, well, why is the working class or certain working class voters still lining up with people like Donald Trump? Well, the aforementioned pronouns and so forth. And so that...
And the proof is it
and there are
happens
other
across
reasons,
the
of
world,
course, but
Bob.
yeah.
Right? I mean, I just to say quickly, like the proof of that is, look, Sweden, Finland, France. France is the best healthcare system in the world. Cheapest, most, I mean, that's the other thing. I don't want to get into the whole thing right now, but ours, besides sucking, is really expensive. And so it's like, it's a bit of a corrupt system because they can argue, well, it may not be great and cover everybody, but at least it saves us money, which I still would think was morally abhorrent. But they can't even say that. It costs us more money to not cover people. So, but to get back to my point, Sweden, all these countries, social democratic countries that have universal pay, family and medical leave, universal, you got, 12 weeks of vacation when you start your job guaranteed, and sick leave, and all this stuff. They all sometimes vote for right-wing populist parties, and when they do, it's their working class that does. There is something there where it doesn't matter how many benefits we give the white working class in this country, and yes, this election, even some working class members of other groups, but mostly white working class. Some of them are just going to always vote based upon who they hate in this country and make it really easy to appeal to those people with lies. Well, that's going to happen. That doesn't mean we get rid of our values, because guess what? All the other working class folks who vote for us, middle class folks who vote for us, poorer folks who vote for us, hell, upper middle class folks are scared these days if they lose their health care. They could not be able to afford something. You may be making $300,000 a year, and suddenly you need an operation that's going to cost $2 million if they don't cover you, and they don't cover you. So we're all scared of it.
Right. Someone in the comments said that white working class don't choose DEMS, and Celery08 mentioned that, and that's kind of true. And I think one of the reasons why that's true could be the wimp factor. And I'm not saying Democrats are wimps. I'm saying there's a perception that the Democrats are wimps. And so
some of us are wimps, Bob.
That is true.
I'm sorry, but again,
remember Harry Reid? Yeah.
I'm sorry,
you remember Harry Reid, right?
Yeah, he was actually a boxer.
He was. He was a tough guy, but not with politics. It always seemed like he was one step away. I remember there were memes going around during Blogosphere 1.0 of Harry Reid constantly capitulating to the Republicans. He was sort of like the George McFly of the United States Senate, and the Republicans were Biff, right? And that's kind of how that worked. And I think there's a way to square that circle. There's a way that we can hold fast to our values as liberal Democrats while at the same time putting on a tougher front, go fuck yourself kind of situation. I hope that doesn't get you demonetized, by the way, on YouTube. But regardless, I'm
going to charge you now for the whole month.
Sorry, but that's the thing. I mean, we were talking today about the steady as she goes mindset among a lot of Democrats, certainly institutionalist Democrats. And we were talking about on the show today, I used to be one of those people. I used to be a big time adherent to the steady as she goes mindset. Now we have to adhere to political traditions because that's sort of the fabric that holds everything together in this country. And what we've discovered is the steady as she goes attitude certainly in the era of Donald Trump has been a disaster for us, because it's like I also said on the show today, it's like taking a banana to a knife fight. It's healthy and it's good for you, but it's not going to help you in the knife fight. Yeah.
Right. Unless you got some Jackie Chan skills with that banana.
Yeah.
Screwed.
Right. You have to be an expert with a banana in order to win that fight.
He could like flip over on the stairs and like stab you with a banana.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna stop now. But here's the thing, and I put this up by Cynthia Rice, because Cynthia, I know you put a few things up like this. Look, and I kind of feel like there's something important to talk about, and I've done that on this show before too, because I feel like we have to talk some truths. Look, I don't think you have to go the way you're saying bro culture, like Elon Musk. I don't think that's what we're talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. I don't think you have to go there. I think actually you benefit both politically and you benefit in terms of your appeal to voters. People like people that stand up for their values. People like people that are willing to fight for what they believe in. So I'm not talking about bro culture, like, hey, dude, she's hot, and sitting around and like we're going to become a party objectifying women or doing whatever. But what if we were a party that did the things I talked about in the beginning? What if we were a party where my favorite punching bag, and now will be forever just to annoy somebody, Merrick Garland, you know what? Like, what if he came out every week and held press conferences and spoke to the American people, explained what had happened on January 6th, didn't go into details of investigations, but just told us, we're not going to let this go away. We're going to fight for this. It was an attack on our democracy. It was horrific, and we're going to make sure that we pursue this to the ends of the earth, whatever. And you came out, you showed strength, and you did your PR. What if Democrats did that all the time? To me, I think that attracts people, that you're willing to fight for the things you believe in. And that's not toxic masculinity. That's not bro culture, unless you think that's what I am, because that's what I do. I stand up for what I believe in. I fight for what I believe in. I sometimes say unfortunate things that aren't very nice to people. Sometimes they deserve it. They may not always. But I'm sorry, I get pissed, and I get like I think we can do that, and I think that's what we're talking about here.
Yeah,
we're not talking about becoming like them.
No, I think it's a matter of using clearer, tougher language in describing what we want and our plan for the republic. And I'll give you an example. Someone mentioned in the comments that the word oligarchy. Go around and ask just a regular person on the street who happens to vote. They're not completely disengaged, but what does oligarchy mean to you? I don't know. What is that? What does it mean?
Define it.
Yeah. Or God, there are so many things that we do that we tend to come up with overly complicated words that end up getting distilled down to some sort of unmemorable acronym. Like, one of my favorite pieces of legislation that's going around through various state legislatures is the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact. A great idea with a horrible name, and because how do you
they
sell
couldn't add more words into that?
I know. One of the things that's been going around.
State compact for the people of America who really want to vote for a popular vote and the people. That's what they should
one of the things that's been going around social media is the word kleptocracy, not kleptocracy. Kakistocracy. Kakistocracy. Who the hell knows what kakistocracy is? You know what everyone knows? Idiocracy. That's the word that everyone knows because of the movie, right? And if you say idiocracy, oh, idiots. I get it. But kakistocracy, all right. Yes, it's intellectual, but can you sell it? And the answer is no, you can't sell it because no one knows what kakistocracy actually means unless they look it up. And we can't get people to look up basic facts about the issues, much less the definitions of overly complicated words that we shouldn't be using in the first place.
And always even show up and vote for that. But you know what? I think you get this. And again, this is something I've been on forever. What drives me nuts, which is, we shouldn't bring in like celebrities, excuse me, to be celebrities. Mm-hmm. We should bring in creative types who are writers, because every time I'm around somebody who is creative or is a performer or writer, who had a regular, if I know correctly, morning radio show, right? There are a whole bunch of people here who are like, Bob used to be on in my market, and blah, 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 blah. I mean, you from most of your life, in some manner or not, are a performer. You guys may not know this, and he's already said it on his show, so I assume it's okay. Can I say the yes thing? Can I say that, Bob? The yes
What did
thing?
you say? Can you say what?
Yes.
Oh yes.
So Bob is also an artist and actually drew the covers of 2 albums for the band Yes. And I won't break out with my version. I've seen All Good People, but I'm tempted to. But I saw them twice back in the day, and now they're recommissioning it, the albums, and Bob has just been brought in again to write 2 of them, or to create the imagery on them.
Yeah, sort of they're reimagined versions of the artwork from 25 years ago for the reissues out next year. Yeah.
Right.
And,
so he's doing that. Being somebody who when I was in grad school, doesn't really count, published poetry, has written columns, wrote a book, have screenplays sitting around. If you're a creative writer and you're and you've done this kind of thing, and you know how to tell stories, that's the people we need out there, not the people with the legal jargon or 5 policy proposals that nobody understands.
Yeah.
And John Fugelsang is so effective in communicating. Hal is so effective. You are. It's one of the reasons I love, actually, what we call the Stephanie Miller Cinematic Universe. Stephanie was an actor and comedian. I mean, these are people that know how to connect with people, whether in written form or performing. And I really feel like when it comes to Hollywood screenwriters, producers, more of these folks should be brought into the fold because they know how to talk about important issues that have and bullet points and numbers to them, but pull on your emotional heartstrings while they're talking about it.
Yeah.
And that is what's important to me.
Yeah, it's about being tough and being clear about it, about everything, coming up with terminology. And a lot of people credit this to Frank Luntz, but he's not the only one who is pretty good at this stuff. I hate to give him credit for anything, but there are quite a few political consultants who have ideas about better ways to speak and to sell the message. And I think one of them is sitting on the left side of your screen right now. Cliff, you're very good at that shit. And so is people like Rachel Bitticoffer. It's really about that. And I think that's the key. There's no calculus behind, well, how do we win the next election? How do we win back those voters who went with Donald Trump last time? It can happen. I mean, a lot of those voters voted for Barack Obama twice. I know different time for sure.
And some of them voted for Biden in 2020, as we know. I mean, look, again, I just went and saw, and actually I'm probably having a movie reviewer come on. We're going to talk about Gladiator 2, because the original Gladiator is one of my favorite movies of all time. And I thought Gladiator 2 was a sort of, I would give it a 8.5 to a 9 out of 10. And the only reason, so I think it's an excellent movie. Just the original Gladiator to me is like a 12 out of 10. And it's just amazing. Well, the combination of the music and the moments and the cinematography and all of that, I mean, they don't have, Gladiator, the Gladiator scene are like, my wife and son were murdered. Those are 2 people who should be alive out of 227 in the neighborhood, all of whom don't have health care. And I mean, he gives, I'm being an idiot, but they give speeches, they give, like emotion to what they do that makes you like sit there, and it could be a character you hated 20 minutes ago, and now you're like, oh my God, are they going to be okay? People who know how to do that with imagery, music, with the language they use, and that is one key aspect of what we absolutely need to do. Bob and I, you guys may not even know. I mean, I think our original collaborations were when I did stuff for Michael Bloomberg's Every Town for Gun Safety, and then after that on the board of the Ohio Innocence Project for 7.5 years. And Bob was the editor I brought in. Like, I would help write some of the scripts and get Bob some of the source material, and then send it to Bob to edit. It would come back our way and all that stuff. And Bob did a lot more than me. Let me be clear, but we collaborate on these things because they did pretty well. We raised a lot of money at the Ohio Innocence Project events, Bob, because people were crying, like watching these stories of these people that had lost years of their lives. Yeah. Even though they were innocent, who got out. Like there are ways to tell these stories.
Yeah, yeah.
that affect people.
And it's not, you don't have to overthink it. I always contend that a movie like, what was it, Toy Story 3, which was an exceptional film in that franchise. There are some great CG animated movies that, you know what, would be just as great if they were done with stick figures, because the storytelling and the performances are so good. And so
Right.
if you have if you have an excellent basis for the idea that you want to convey, it doesn't matter, the optics of it don't necessarily matter as much as the messaging of it. And so that's the key to all of this. Keep it simple, stupid is a long-standing rule in American political campaigns. Once things start to get overly complicated, then if there are too many chefs in the kitchen, and often the Democratic Party has, I like to say, 82 million, 76 million chefs in the kitchen, all pulling in different directions, it seems, on some days. It's even worse on social media. See the aforementioned debate about kakistocracy. You know, we tend to overcomplicate things, and we got to stop doing that if we want to start winning elections. And one of the main things is just prioritizing the idea of winning elections. Make that, as long as that's the priority, you're going to get there, because then you're going to do the things that lead you to that conclusion.
Correct. And think about who your audience is. Something else that if you perform, you do. We can all talk to each other because we know that we're all smart people, who are not some of the people on the other side. And there are probably, like some people said, on the other side, and some of them are smart. As Donald Trump said about Mexicans in his first thing, and some of them are decent people. But remember, he's like, they're sending us their worst, but rapists, and some of them sure are decent people. Yeah, that's not basically. But people here, we can have conversations about Pakistan, excuse me, and stuff like that, because I get it. You guys are all smart. Yeah. But we have to remember, when we're talking to the population at large, and not this particular chat room, that we have to say things. Why would you say kakistocracy when you can say idiocracy? Why would you give a 5-point bullet plan when you can tell an individual story about somebody who had to go through this heart-wrenching experience because of what Republicans did? These are the things we need to get. Yeah. And we do sometimes. I won't be one of these Monday morning quarterbacks who sits there and says something different. I thought she did a terrific job. I thought she defined the narrative well. I'm not saying everything was perfect, but I thought she defined the narrative well. I thought she, was constantly mocking and hitting in the way that I say we should do. I think that she was supporting local parties and a great get out the vote operation, a lot going on. She's a Black woman that probably hurt us, and in a perfect world, obviously, or a normal world, it wouldn't. But in this stupid one, could that have hurt us? Sure. But on top of that, incumbent parties, people still haven't gotten over COVID. First time in 70 years, they all lost. We have a dumbass electoral college. And even though she lost the popular vote, it does affect how you campaign. If you go maximizing your vote in places like New York and California and stuff, if you weren't dealing with, all these things were parts of a whole. And I still think it doesn't take away from, she ran overall a very good campaign where she messaged pretty well. I think they should have still focused on a couple key things. Democrats always seem to mess with stuff where you can say, hey, what is it about the, so I was reading something here, and somebody saying the mics and the AirPods always work better. It's still my signal. Maybe I should turn my mic off and see. I don't know. But that you should, Donald Trump, as awful as he is, you knew the 2 or 3 things that, of course, he'll never actually do, but that he said he was going to do. Yeah. Right? He's going to deport everybody. He's going to lower crime, even though crime's actually pretty low, and he was lying. But I don't know if you could say that on the Democratic side. And I think that we still have to have a narrative structure where there's the key 2, 3 messages here that filter down to everything else you're doing, whether it's passing healthcare, family medical leave, how you're fighting, with Putin, this and that, should be subsets of what is up top. And to me, well, guess who else is a billionaire and a ridiculous person and a terrible person? Vladimir Putin. taking on billionaires and oligarchs is taking on Vladimir Putin. The same way it's taking on Elon Musk and the Kochs. Message so that when people say, hey, what's your candidate for? Our candidate's going to stop the billionaires from destroying democracy in this country. It's going to make sure that everybody has a fair vote and a fair say.
Yeah.
These are things people should be able to say, that this is what you stand for. And then the individual policies come underneath that all support that premise. And I still think we haven't gotten as good at that yet.
Right.
And need to be better. Because I do think that people did ask me that one question when I said I thought that Kamala actually they messaged well, they mocked him well. And maybe I'm wrong, if you guys can tell me this, but when they did say, what were the 2 or 3 things that you would say Kamala stood for? Absolutely. It is true. I didn't have 2 or 3 things I could say. A fairer economy, I guess, was one of the big ones. Freedom. She did talk a lot about that. That's good, but I don't think,
opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we need to really kind of. In any case, I still think she ran a great race, and I'd be doing this with anybody I'd be critiquing because nobody runs a perfect race. Ever. But I think she ran a better race actually than Biden did in 20, who won. I think she ran a better, and I was up with that team, and I'm going to say that. I think she ran a better race than Obama's reelection. The last time somebody ran a race as good as the one she just ran was Obama in 08.
Yeah.
And so, you just, there are other factors there. If you win, it doesn't mean you did everything right. If you lose, it doesn't mean you did everything wrong. We need to be smarter than that and more nuanced than that.
I agree.
You are awesome, and I'm going to let you go only because you originally said you're going to come on for 10 or 15 minutes. Bob has to edit the podcast. Bob does everything. I
mainly have to get the podcast posted, which requires coming up with images for it and writing up the little blurb that goes with it and then posting it all on all the platforms. And that always takes time. Sure.
So the last thing I'll ask you, Bob, totally related, because we've had this conversation here with the folks here. From you there, how does the sound here? How bad is my sound?
It sounds like you're far away from the microphone. So obviously as a temporary thing, that's fine. You're having issues today. So, can't.
Well, I wonder though, this is right here and this is supposed to be.
Well, that's not working at all. You're using either your earbuds, the microphone on your earbuds or the microphone on your Mac. One of those 2 things is picking up your voice today.
See, as I told you, Bob knows everything. That's why I wanted him to.
See, the only reason this mic works is because I don't touch anything. I don't touch any buttons or dials. I'm on a show right now. Anyway, I don't touch any buttons or dials.
Say hi to Kimberly for all of us.
Yeah, Kimberly was popping. Kimberly in studio. But yeah, I don't touch any buttons or dials in between shows. So that when I turn everything on, 9 times out of 10 it works. But even then, sometimes it doesn't work. Things go randomly haywire with computers, but you know how that goes.
What? And somebody just said that in here. Sounds like a Mac microphone, the Mac on your shirt, the Mac on your shirt.
We'll get you set up with the Shure MV7.
What it is that it says it's on here. Clearly something is not working and the signal is not picking up there. So it's almost like I'm just sitting in an office with it echoing.
Yeah.
That's all you're getting from me. So at least we know that's the issue here. And if you guys want, like I can actually probably just take this off and switch the thing here and you can tell me if it's better, which I may do once Bob is gone, because why the hell not?
All right. Well,
towards the end.
Yeah, thanks for having me on today, Cliff. I'm going to go and put the show to bed, get it posted. Patreon.com/Bob Cesca Show, or just very simply BobCescaShow.com right there on the screen.
That's right. You have that up there, and Jim, who is very good about getting all this stuff up, all of your various places to find you will all be up there.
All right,
hey, I got to talk to you twice today. I always consider that a good day.
Yeah, now I'm sick of you. We need to take a break until next week.
Well, if you want to talk to me more, a great way to do it is go attack me on Blue Sky on something. And
that's right.
And forth and argue.
Yeah, remind me never to do that again. or for the first time, for that matter.
Yeah, it's that's 2 hours of my life that I'll never get back. That's why I hate that crap. And I'll be there less because of it. All right, listen, take care, buddy.
Good talking to you, my friend. Bye-bye.
All right, bye. All right, you awesome MFers. Hold on, let me see what that thing is saying is picking up, and then I may just turn this off. So we're going to see, it claims it's picking it up here. Yeah, it does claim it's picking it up. There's got to be something going wrong though. So how about this? While I still have you here, let's switch from that. No, we don't want to switch the video, audio, mic. Let's try the AirPods. See how that works. All right. Guys, there we go. I'm speaking through the AirPods. Better? Worse? Anyone? On the right track. All right. That's a good start. Much better. Good. We'll do that. The AirPods have to be better. I don't know why the signal wasn't working with this. If you spend money on stuff, guys, I swear to God, and it breaks on you. See, I should start, just reaming, oligarchs and billionaires again, because that's why. Oh, better. Thank you, guys. Now I feel better, and now I feel partially better and partially like an ass because I could have tried this a long time ago. My apologies for that. And my guess is that my opening monologue is going to sound kind of weird. When we put that out as a separate video, people are going to be like, hey, why is he in a cave? Thank you for letting me know. Cliff, your sound is just bad. Always somebody, I swear. It can't get better. Well, Alton Gillespie, I respect your opinion, but everyone else has told me at least it's better. And when I get my magic microphone, which I'm going to purchase almost immediately, that I was using for Bob's show, you're going to hear the smooth, dulcet tones of Cliff Schechter. I'm going to be like Barry White. I may start singing some Barry White. Is that okay? You can tell me. All right. Where are we? About 3:30. I've been on an hour and a half. And so this is where I go through the dilemma, which is, as I said, what is wrong with me? See, now it's working, but I can't talk. I want to make sure that I have the time to put together some of these other videos. Tell me, guys. Oh, Alton is fake news? Okay, so is Alton just, MAGA, right. Okay. Thank you for that, Dark Shabu. So tell me, is your preference here? We'll take the Patreon and whatever out because you guys aren't going to all become members, though you should. But do you prefer, like, I need to get at least one me straight to camera short every day, which I haven't been doing. It was my plan. Gonna do that. Other shorts from appearances with Hal and some of the ones from this show. I put up one with Fugel saying earlier from last week, a short, 2 minutes, stuff like that. So you'll get a bunch of those, a few at night that aren't even me. Do you like the medium sort of 5-minute to 7-minute videos when I do kind of ones that are either interesting or funny and have and not even always funny, but have some clips in them? I kind of have referred to them for a while as Democratic takedown videos. They've done well, a lot of them, but it's when someone like a Swalwell or someone really kicks butt. That is a that Jasmine Crockett. Do you like those kinds of things? Somebody say Cliff Schechter ASMR channel. I don't know what that means. Somebody's gonna have to tell me. Ooh, thank you, Andrea Shilkoff. Barry White Cliff. Hope everyone is doing well and staying warm. Love all around. That's that's what makes all this stuff worth it, no matter what. You're good people. Good people. So do you guys, smooth voice, that's right. Yeah. I can speak like Barry White, although then I may be charged with appropriating or something. So I won't. 5-minute or less for shorts. Yeah, my shorts are 3 or less, they have to be. So those you're gonna get from various things anyhow.
I'm going to try to do more of those and get you a couple of those a day from me. You can get a couple that aren't me anyhow. But what I'm saying to you is, if I were, would you rather, if let's say to get out 5 to 7 more 5 minute sort of to 7 minute videos, 4 minute to 7 minute videos of, showing you Democrats kicking Republican butt, and I give you my commentary on it, PR of it, the strategy, the whatever. Would you rather if I did that? And I did. This is the one I would have sung, by the way. Paul Young, yes. Can't get enough of your love, babe is just wonderful. Can't get enough of your love, babe. Okay. Would you rather that I did that and did maybe one fewer of these live streams? Like, would 2 live streams, Benny Loco? Thank you so much for the super sticker. So let's say I did 2 live streams, and instead of like I'm getting you like 3 or 4 of those 5-minute videos, what if I were getting you 10 a week? Would you rather I did that? Wear the suit. Yeah. Again, appropriation. I'm going to get in trouble here, guys. Megyn Kelly's going to get mad too, because you're not allowed to do anything black in Megyn Kelly's world. Santa can't be black. Jesus can't be black. Barry White can't be black either. On a serious note, what do you have to say? More 5-minute videos or a third day of live stream, or I try to fit in both somehow and get some sleep? I like the live streams. We need the live streams. Okay, we're getting a lot of live streams. We'll see. God, I want to do this, and I don't want to more collabs with other pro democracy channels. I mean, we can do that definitely. I've had a bunch of folks on, obviously. I mean, if collabs means we're doing like, we're for both of our shows a dual live stream, could do that. But obviously, Fugelsang and Cesca and people are of that ilk. Third live stream 100%. It builds a community. I agree. I really like doing these. I really want to get you more of those 5-minute videos though. Like, I don't want to feel like I'm giving you recycled content all the time. I do like giving you, and people brought up the rebroadcasts. I keep wanting to remind myself and forgetting to put on there that they're rebroadcasts. And I'm not trying to trick anybody, but I do realize that everybody's free at 2 o'clock to 3, right? People work at this time and stuff. So I'm always going to rebroadcast them at 9 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock the next morning, so that so you can always know, even if you miss these. So Chipmunk Milk, I watch the live streams. I think everybody's really clocking in here for live streams. So I think what it is it's on me to put a schedule together where I can get you 3 live streams a week. 3 of my my sort of 5 to 7 minute rants will come from what I do at the beginning, right? Double purpose. So that works well at the beginning of these. But I'm going to have to do a bunch of other ones on Monday and Friday, I think, when I've got time, maybe 2 or 3 each of those days, and then take a few from appearances on Hal. Bob is just audio. I have my camera on, but it's kind of weird when he's just audio, so I don't know if I can do that. But with Hal and with Tony Michaels and when I go on Stephanie and stuff, I think we can make this work. We're going to make it work. And then also the 2, at least 2, at least 1 extra video a week and posts every day to the folks that sign up for the Patreon and the YouTube members club. But again, like I will tell you, this is a lot of work and it's hard, and I'm not trying to be a big pain in the butt, but any way folks can help, if you can join those Patreon and I'd even ask you, super chats and super stickers are awesome. I'd love those. All right. Those are really helpful to me. But the more people that join the Patreon, the more people that join like the YouTube members, and I feel like I'm doing those extra videos for a lot of you. So a lot of you end up seeing those, and I'm not just like, I'm getting you extra content too, if you see what I'm saying. So please join. I really, really, really want to grow the Patreon and the YouTube members most of all. Lefty Gramps, thank you for the $5 super chat. It was very kind of you. All right, this has actually been good. This has been good. We've been there you go. Thank you, William. Became a new member. And I know some of you actually have joined Patreon and that doesn't show up here. So, hey, Benny Loco. I thought you were, okay, new member. I love it. I don't know why. I thought you were already. Thank you. I'm really going to, and again, We're going to reset whatever level you join there. It's going to be reset. There'll be higher levels, but you'll get stuff, I don't know, you may want or may not want, like, a top level where you get to do we do a phone call and chat and tell me about some strategy stuff. We're going to probably have some, maybe once or twice a year, do some Zooms for the folks in the second highest level. Those will be above like the video and when I get you written content levels. But even like, $5 to $10, whatever it is, I think it'll be $5, whatever, you'll get all the like basic good stuff, which means the extra videos and the extra posts. So if you can afford that, that will be terrific. Sorry, missed Patreon name. Is it Cliff's Edge there too? It is. Jim, can you I may actually have it here so I can toss it in. Hold on. There we go. I found it. I bet Jim beat me to it. Maybe. Chandra Welch, thank you. There you go. Gifted one Cliff's Edge membership. That is fantastic. I'm not sure what that actually means. Like when you gift a membership, does that mean who gets it? Just kind of wondering. But that is fantastic. Here's the Patreon. Okay, you guys are really all doing it. You're doing everything I'm asking you to do, and you know what? I'm going to do for you what you ask. Cliffy, see, you know to call me Cliffy. You're doing an amazing job. We love and appreciate you. Cliffy is always good. Let other folks know about this. That's another thing. If we grow these live streams, I have an email list I haven't tapped yet. I have an old Patreon list when I used to do an old podcast. I don't know if any of you listen to that. Unprecedented. Haven't tapped yet. Again, it takes a while to pull all this together. It's random, Cliff, the gift memberships. Okay, good to know. Thank you. It makes no difference. It's an incredibly nice gesture, whether it's random or it's for somebody specific. So thank you either way. You owe them a clipped toenail. William, if you're talking to me, I owe people more than that. Sorry, when I promise people things, I believe in delivering. And I obviously do not like when I don't deliver. So 3:39. Okay. I think we're getting close, guys, to the end of this. You've been incredibly helpful today. And I will, you've been like my market research in addition to being here and being awesome. So I can kind of put this together. So we will keep all three of the live streams. It has been ordained. And we will find a way to get the other stuff done. The only reason why it's tough is today, now I am a paid co-contributor to Bob's podcast. So today ends up being about 4 to 5 hours on air, and I can't get a ton done otherwise. Ooh, we need some viewers in the Twitch chat. Yes, do that if that helps get affiliate. I don't know what that means either, but I am learning stuff. Man, I pick stuff up quickly. I am learning stuff. So whatever Jesse is saying here, because going to try to do more with putting up some videos at TikTok. We'll share that with you. And Instagram, those are being worked on. Again, these are like the main projects. Patreon, YouTube memberships, like getting more video content to you, getting like some more stuff to TikTok and other spots. And yes, also what I shared with you before, which was MTG equals B6. You want that for your special loved one or not loved one for a Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, New Year's, Arbor Day gift. So think about that, right? Creative shirt, made it up myself, and it says on the back, has a picture on the back. You'll like it. I linked to it. I sent it to you. I'm going to send it to you again. So you can go look and decide, hey, is this as funny as Cliff says, or is Cliff just kind of full of crap? Or both, really, because they're not mutually exclusive. But I will share that. And because I haven't pushed the merch here, I think I'm going to come up with. Hey, here's a question, right, folks? I mean, for the Christians among us, why do my comments always come up twice, guys? I don't try to do that. If I get some really funny one, like 2 words, 3 word kind of Christmas tree ornaments, and we're to get that up here like within the next 48 hours by the live stream on Thursday. Would you guys be interested in some of those? Is that the kind of thing you'd like? I'm trying to think something that's Hanukkah worthy. You'd think as like even a bad Jew who doesn't do anything, I would know these things from how I grew up, which also was raised as a bad Jew. So I guess that's not really true. But I can't think of what I would get you in the Hanukkah spirit. I could put stuff on a dreidel. I kind of feel like that'd be sacrilegious though, so I'm not going to do that. Yeah. So here it is. Human F being gives me a yes. So I don't know if that means yes to Christmas ornaments. Christmas ornaments, folks. What are we thinking? Yes, no, maybe. So I don't want to, I mean, again, I'll create them. Hanukkah is the least religious, well, probably Jewish holiday, but yeah, it's at the same time as Christmas. You know what I'm talking about. I'll make some, if you want, some Purim stuff. I've always called you Cliffy, and I appreciate it, Sterling. I really do. Love ornaments, Barbara. Okay, there we go. Oops, I clicked on the wrong thing. Kind of seasonal. Yep. So, if you're still buying ornaments, yes to ornaments. All right, I've gotten that from a couple people. We're writing it down. Ornaments. I can even spell it because I'm smart that way. I know what kakistocracy means. So we're gonna create some of those. They'll be funny. You guys grab those for family. Magnets, okay? Magnets are good. Go look around the store. I mean, I linked directly in there to the. Tell me if you have any trouble with it because I haven't tried shopping there yet. I should get some stuff in my background. I linked directly to the MTG one because I thought people would like that the most. But I can just link to the merch overall, and you guys can go around there and tell me what you like and what you don't like. Can buy some stuff. Little Chinese food cup ornaments. Not sure I know how to make those or with the bumper stickers. Sure, why the hell not? I think the bumper sticker, what would we say? I voted for the smart lady. Like, it was funny when people would say I voted for the email lady for Hillary Clinton. What would we say for, because I think I voted for the black ladies. I don't know about that. Melania, yeah, Melania's hawking ornaments too, right? So maybe I should get some ones that make fun of Melania. That's perfect. I'll have a mega. We're gonna go meta on this. No, not the stupid Facebook thing. We'll have an ornament about Melania making an ornament. Okay, so ornaments. We'll do some, whatever. Go look at the store, see what you like. You don't have to do it right now because I am still here, so why not? But I think that's good. I voted for not going back. Is that well? Okay. Do I have something on we're not going back in there, or is that something different? Clothing. What do we got? Ooh, I don't really see very much. We got to do more, guys. Your content goes here. Okay, so we need more clothing. We got a hat. We got a mug. We got a shirt. All right. I'm gonna add all this stuff. I'm gonna try to work on it by Thursday. It's gonna be a busy Christmas season, guys. Morning Joe's adding John Lemire to make it better. Yeah, maybe if he removed Morning Joe, he'd make it better. I meant to do a rant on that. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. Seems a lot of other people already got there. So I think that's it. I think we have covered our bases of all of Melania is an ornament. Lefty Gramps. That is a quality comment. That's all Trump has ever wanted women as ornaments, either mental or physical ornaments for him to make him feel better about his pathetic, crappy life. I think this is it, guys. I think we've done well today. And I see what you're doing there, Hugh. Too. You're still putting some good stuff in there. Joe Walsh. Joe Walsh is a buddy. I may try to get him on the show. That would be good. Opening video on the truth is no longer matters in the U.S. Yeah, well, that's the problem, right? That's why we have to get out truth in places like this. That's why Democrats have to message truth. My whole rant earlier with my crappy microphone, because if we don't get it out there, nobody will. All right, bumper sticker. All right, we got this stuff. Oh, I hate Christmas ornament with Melania's picture. Oh my gosh, that's so good. Didn't she say I hate the Christmas? I'm not trying to be a jerk and be picky, but that's even funnier. I think we're gonna do one. I think we're gonna do one. So maybe we're not probably not gonna have by tomorrow. I'll be honest with you, but I'm gonna work on. I don't have the Cesca thing tomorrow morning, so we will have them by Thursday, and I will try to figure out my microphone situation by tomorrow. Um, we may start off with the other one and see if it works. If I've figured out what the problem is, if it doesn't, then we'll go with these again because I don't think I can order this thing overnight. My fun neighbor downstairs may let me borrow his again. So there's always that, and I can try that. Mind your own damn business. Good. See, you guys are crowdsourcing this with me. And look, I hate to, remind me in here if I miss it who gave ideas. I want to give people credit. That freaking Christmas. But and I don't like profiting off of other people's ideas, but at this point, like I really just have to be able I need to be able to bring in enough for all the time I'm putting in and to put this time on air. That's really what it comes down to. And paying my admin, which will help us create more content and all of that. So that's it. I think that's about it, guys. Listen, thank you all for being here. Thank you all for being awesome. We have to stop anyhow because it goes over 2 hours. They won't let me rebroadcast, so we're pretty close anyhow. Trump saying I did this. Ooh, good. Thank you for putting up with the crappy sound. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for supporting Bob Cesca and what he does. And thank you for being good people that care about this country and everything going on in it. So you guys keep on keeping on, be awesome. And, as the sun sets slowly in the west, I bid you a fond farewell.